Yeah! Rise and shine, MMA fans. Early day MMA. Early day MMA. That's right, everybody. Good morning to you all. 8:32 a.m. here on the East Coast as we welcome you to the People's Pre-Fight Show ahead of UFC Saudi Arabia. We are 28 or so minutes away from this event kicking off. 9 a.m. Eastern prelims, noon Eastern main card, a nice tight 11 fights, and it caps off with a big one in the middleweight division as the former two-time UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya takes on the surging Nassourdine Imavov in a very interesting fight. But thank you for joining us so early in the morning. Hopefully you have your coffee, your breakfast ready to go, and we're happy to talk some fisticuffs with all of you. I am Mike Eck, and as you can see, the man to my right, I've missed him so after vacation. He joins me before the event. He'll join me after the event as well. Well, tomorrow anyways, for on to the next one for some matchmaking. He is MMA Fighting Zone. There he is. Alexander Cayley. AK, good morning to you, sir.
Oh, good morning, everyone. I'm excited about this card, man. I'm excited about this card. Happy New Year to all my Chinese brothers out there. We're in the middle. I mean, it's a bit belated. It was, started earlier this week, but it's like stretches out for like 2 weeks. It's a whole, span of time that we celebrate our Lunar New Year. So Year of the Snake. So Year of the Snake to all you TG Dillashaw fans out there. And I am ready to answer questions. We must have many because this is a good card. It's a good looking card. We got a big card next week. I imagine. Bigger card in terms of magnitude, I guess, not necessarily a better card. So I imagine people have questions about that as well. And I hopefully not my questions about other stuff that happened this week, but let's get to it. I trust the listeners to be responsible.
Yes, and look, there's not just MMA going on today. We got the Royal Rumble, which I'm very excited about. We got some boxing. We got UK Arkansas. And as you can see in all caps, the people's main event, Parker Porter versus Chase Gormley, BKFC over at Mohegan Sun in scenic Uncasville, Connecticut. There you go.
That's the real Knucklemania. That's the real Knucklemania right there.
I know. What were we doing here?
Chase Gormley?
Chase Gormley.
I knew Parker was fighting. I guess I just totally blanked on his opponent. Chase Gormley is still out there getting it done, eh?
He's still doing the thing.
Goodness me. I did not realize. Okay. All right. Retired from MMA quite some time ago. All right.
Well, it's good to see both of them back. I don't know if you saw what I tweeted out. Parker Porter looking svelte, looking shredded, which is not a lot of people saw that coming. Right before UFC 309, the GOAT came on the preview show and he pulled up his shirt. He lost a bunch of weight. You could see he was like thinner in the face. He had some abs and dude looking shredded, tremendous shape. He said he got on the carnivore diet and the body fat started falling off the man.
John Jones, he doesn't want this rematch. He doesn't want this rematch. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he might even go over and corner Parker Porter to make sure he stays in BKFC.
Yeah, that might be the smart thing to do.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. All right, let's. If you guys are new to this, throw in your questions. We'll throw them up. Super chatters go to the front of the line. Get to go through the velvet rope. Here we go. Let's talk about some stakes in the main event. AK Sky River Rain. I think he's asking if Israel Adesanya beats Imaov. He thinks he will. What about another title shot? Hard to say because he has losses to both Sean Strickland and DDP. So we got Khamzat Chimaev there as well. So there's no doubt about that. If Israel Adesanya wins and wins impressively, what is the best case scenario for him when it comes to the title discussion next week when DDP and Sean Strickland run it back?
First, thank you, Sky River. They were responding to the poll. Mike, I put up the poll, and it is phrased as not will he necessarily just win, but will he win and eventually earn another title shot? So obviously, not implying it's going to come off of this performance, but does this get him back on? Depending how he looks on Saturday, are people going to be confident? Like, oh, that's the Izzy that we know is a champion. This guy definitely, is one more impressive performance away. So far, 63% people are pretty confident that this will get him back on the right track. If he wins, which is by no means a guarantee. I haven't seen the odds. I imagine he's a 2-1 favorite at least, something like that.
Is he?
I don't know.
Minus 156.
Yeah, well, that's reasonable. Again, a lot of respect to Imaov. Again, some people having questions, of course, but is he not like he's old, but he's getting up there. I think he's 36 or 37 this year. 36.
35. He'll be 36 this year.
He'll be 36 this year. And in combat sports here, it's pretty old, adding in the kickboxing. I think 15 years of kickboxing and MMA. You add in, like, the success he's had. Like, there's a bit of, the silk sheets and all that, right? Like, he's made a lot of money. He's made a lot of money. He's been very successful. How do you make yourself more motivated than, like, the next man up? And it's really tough. So I still think he can earn another title shot. Let's say he wins on Saturday. Best case scenario, one would be not fighting Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, I think we're all hoping Khamzat is just waiting in the wings and gets a title shot, but that's not guaranteed either. We don't know when he's coming back. And if it takes too long, they're going to make Khamzat fight again. That's just how it goes. Adesanya, Kyle Bahayo's out there. I mean, there's that matchup. I think that would be enough. Like, again, not that Imavov and Bahayo are like huge names, with like as far as the mainstream casual fan, but those are two top 10 ranked guys. I think if he beats those guys, you have to give him another crack down the road, whether it's against Duplessis, Strickland, Chimaev, whoever has the belt in 8-9 months, right? I don't know when Izzy would plan to fight again, but he definitely wouldn't get a title shot right away. So he probably just sits. He probably sits and waits for his next fight and then has to wait till the end of the year. So that looks like he has to fight another contender. I just don't know if I'm trying to think if there's another big name. Maybe something happens with Shara. I mean, we talk about the Coleman event too. Maybe something happens with Shara. There's your number one contender fight. But that's a tough one. That's a tough one for Izzy. Like, I don't know if he wants to have to deal with that. Depending how Shara looks today, he might actually have some problems with MVP because no one looks good against him. So Shara might not get that Izzy fight. I think the Kyle fight might be more likely. But middleweight is like intriguing now. You guys have talked about it before. Like, I still think the division, I don't agree. Like, I still think the division is like kind of just bad overall. But the title picture for the last 2 years and like the top of the rankings, it has been intriguing. There has been a lot of fresh blood and a lot of movement, which we like to see.
It's a money division right now. There's some work going on outside my house, so relax. Hopefully, just bear with that. It is getting a little loud, but it's okay. Is Jasmine versus Myra the first female fight in Saudi Arabia for the UFC? I believe it is, AK. I believe history will be made here.
I believe so. And they're wearing, they're covering up a little more than the fighters normally would. I think they had custom. You guys can see that on like their Instagram and stuff. They have some custom gear. I don't know if they're going if they had to go the full, like a WWE when they go there, like the full sort of bodysuit. Let me do a quick check here. I'm gonna go to Jasmine's Instagram and just check here because I know one of them was showing off the new gear. I think they're letting them wear shorts. Don't quote me on this, guys. I'm culturally not the most like educated person on this aspect. Where's the new? Someone was showing off the gear. I don't know, Mike. Let me find it. But what do you, Mike? What do you think of this as like? I don't know. Speak on this culturally. You're a well-traveled man.
No, I just my first freaking stamp on the passport. Like
I heard. Yes, I heard. Yeah.
So I honestly haven't seen, like, I haven't looked at the Getty images yet to see what the ensemble looks like. But yeah, I think it'll be a little bit different. Maybe they're wearing like full rash guards, like up top, just like the full body. I don't know.
So I'm looking at Aaron Bronstetter's thing. Oh, it was it was on Maeda's Instagram, and it looks like she's just wearing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't look like she's wearing anything. I'm surprised that they're letting her wear shorts. Again, I'm sorry, guys. My knowledge of the customs of Saudi Arabia are not like super great. But I'm just going again based on, of course, a related thing, a combat sport at WWE where they always have to wear all the women when they compete always have to wear the full bodysuit. But Maeda's gear, Mike, I'll send it to you on Slack. Looks pretty like similar to honestly what they normally wear. Mike, I'll just send this to you. We don't have to put it on screen. You guys can find it yourselves. This is how it works.
Okay,
but,
yeah. So they're just wearing
right. But I wonder maybe she's not wearing the full thing yet. I don't know. I'll be curious because if they do let them wear their regular gear again, that feels like something that wouldn't normally be done over there. But yeah, big step. Obviously, a big step. Yeah. Like they're making efforts over there, right? And this is huge, but it has taken a while to get a first women's fight over there, a first women's UFC fight, as the question said, because they have had other promotions, I believe, in Riyadh that have had women's fights.
Yeah, so. PFL's had women.
That's right.
So Dakota Ditcheva obviously is one of them. And yeah, and shout out to Laura Sanko as well, getting the color commentary assignment over in Saudi, which is pretty historic as well. So good for her.
Great. She's great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Very much looking forward to it. Was the opening prelim scheduled to put us back to sleep? Also, who do you think the special appearances in the Royal Rumble will be? God, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Macho Man? He's coming back?
I mean, that would certainly be a special appearance.
I think every year I predict a deceased wrestler will come, because you just never know in this crazy business. I think that's right. We'll talk about the Rumble in a second. Sorry, what was it? Jamal Pogues and Hamdi Abdel. I am optimistically picking a knockout. I don't know why. I have one bet on this card, Mike, and it's I'm going with the heavyweight over. I should have gone with this one. I actually went with Gaziv and Peterson to be a heavyweight over. I actually probably could have safely also done heavyweight over here. Abdel Wahab and Pogues. I think the odds were better for Gaziv and I didn't say over. I said straight up go the distance. I think the odds were better for Gaziv Peterson, so I went that way. But yeah, I don't know. We still don't know what we have with Hamdi. He's a weird guy. They called him in on short notice. He has very little pro experience. He had that drug test suspension, so we haven't seen him in 2 years. His debut was not incredibly impressive. What was he? Did he fight? Did he also fight? No, Pogues fought Thomas Peterson. Who did Abdel Wahab fight? Abdel Wahab fought. Oh, Dontel Mays. Completely forgettable fight. One of those fights that you definitely have on, and you're just like, why? You see a guy with 5 pro wins, 5 pro fights on his resume. You're like, this guy shouldn't. Why is he in the UFC? And then you watch the fight, and you're like, why is this in the UFC? So yeah, it's probably not a great fight, but I have a feeling there's something here with Hamdi, at least in this matchup. Even though Pogues is also a decisionator, I think I'm being optimistic and say we have a KO. But I understand people asking, like, yeah, this looks like a not a great. They put this on just in case, so give people on the East Coast a chance to get up and not feel bad if they missed a fight or two.
Yeah, that's probably where we're at. So maybe turn the card on at like 10 a.m. Wait for Jasmine and Myra.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
The damn thing.
That's gonna be an exciting fight. That's gonna be an exciting fight. Winner, I don't know who's winning. I think I picked Maida, but like that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be it. Like these women look to scrap. That's gonna be a good one.
Plushy pictures feel like it's going to be a breakout event for Imavov. Could be. Drummer Dale got my Izzy, Parker Porter, Benavides multi in.
Whoa.
I mean, just go to the bank. Just go to the bank with that.
That's a fun bet. That's a fun bet.
Let's see. The Parker Porter pre-fight show. You damn right.
Questions, people. Questions.
Any truth to the UFC coming to Montreal? I don't know 100%, but I've heard probably. But again, things can change very quickly, because like the best example I can come up with where things can change very quickly is there was a fight night card headlined by Dominic Cruz versus Chito Vera. That was supposed to be in Boston. Like that was going to be a Boston event. And then once the reports came out, I think Ariel, when he was with us, first reported that it was going to be in Boston. They shifted to San Diego, and I don't know if those two things go hand in hand, but I was told by multiple people, multiple managers, that card was supposed to be in Boston, and then they shifted it to San Diego. So I'll say I would be surprised if there isn't one in Montreal from what I've been hearing, but I don't think it's 110% just yet.
I wanted a GFL team in Montreal, so I've already dealt with disappointment. So if we don't get a return to Montreal, that's really nothing. If I had to choose between getting a GFL franchise in Montreal or a UFC card in Montreal this year, I'm picking GFL all the way. I was really heartbroken. Instead, I think some of the Canadian fighters are like on Team London. I don't know what's going on, Mike. I don't know what's going on. We are accepting GFL questions, by the way, because I have not had my chance to speak on this or ask questions about it.
Oh God, can we even talk about them until they actually put on a fight? Like, is it even fair? Because I think
we can keep talking. Can you get Darren back on?
I mean, I will say I learned more about the GFL process in that hour than I had learned through the past 3 years. That was very informative for me.
You got like the closest, Mike, I feel like anyone has gotten to something substantial. I feel like people like I think you helped the draft a lot. I think there was a lot of people that were like, I'm just out. And I think you talking to him, anyone who watched that was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a chance because there sounds like there's something here. And then the draft, entertaining though it was, may have hurt that confidence again.
It sure did.
May have deflated took some of the air out of the balloon.
I mean, you can't like just
we don't
so
need
bad.
to. You guys talked about it nonstop. I know you talked about it a bit.
Yeah, if you want to hear like the collective thought process, go listen to BTL. Jed Bashu kind of knocked out of the park. So maybe we get a Big Ben versus Parker Porter title fight.
Nikes
at Knucklemania 6.
That's Knucklemania. Knucklemania. I mean, I can't wait that long though, because Knucklemania is their yearly thing. It's not something they do more than once a year, right? It is their yearly.
It's a yearly thing.
Yeah. It's
usually around March. Yeah, usually first quarter.
I can't wait that long. This is it. What's their version of SummerSlam? Because that's where we do Parker Porter, Ben Rothwell, whatever. So what? Give me SummerSlam, Knuckle Slam.
There you go.
Give it to me. That's your main event.
Summer Knuckle, whatever you want to call it. We're all good. Our friend Tristan, if Mike Davis gets a win here against Zion impressively with the finish, do you think he gets a top 15 opponent afterwards, or do you think he doesn't? Mike Davis is very, very interesting right now. Because he's so good, but he doesn't fight. So
Mike, do you think he fights again in 2025 is the question? Because
God, I hope so.
A February fight. So this is early. There's plenty of time for this man to get this back in there. He has fought 3 times since 2019. 3 times since 2019. This man just cannot, whatever various amount. I don't know if I know, I'm sure it's injuries. I know there's injuries in there. I'm sure other reasons. But like we all know Mike Davis is good. Every time we're a broken record. Every time Mike Davis fights, we say, we know this guy's good. If he stays healthy, he's clearly a top 15 guy. Now he has a very, very tough matchup on Saturday with Fresh Ziam. I think this is like a toss-up. This has to be a pickup, right? They can't be. I can't imagine either guy being significantly favored. Yeah, just about. I'm saying like depending where you go, it's Mike Davis.
Yeah, Davis minus one. Davis minus 145. Right now.
That's fine. That's not terrible. And again, I guess depending where you go, this is close. This is a close fight. I'm picking Davis for sure. But Ziam has looked really good as well in his second round with the UFC. So if he beats Ziam, yeah, of course he deserves a top 15 opponent. But he just has to be healthy. If you're the matchmakers, I just feel like they don't have a lot of confidence in him being able to make it. So I think they're hesitant to commit any time and again, opponents to him. So we'll see. Ideally, again, we see a summer return for Mike Davis, finally creep towards a top 15 spot because we know he has the talent. So I'm going to go Michael Dilla impromptu buy sell here. I'm going to go sell just because I'm just not confident we see him again soon. But I hope I'm really, really wrong.
So I said this on BTL. I'm picking Mike Davis to win as well. I think he does get a finish, like a little sneaky submission, like club and sub style. If I'm Mike Davis, my call out, there's 2 people I would call out: Joel Alvarez and Jalen Turner. Those would be the 2 names I would call out. I would call out the 2 big bad boogeymen, especially Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez would be the top of the list. Now, would he get that fight? I'm not sure, but I think him just calling that name out would put him over in a different kind of a way. So I love that idea. But I could see maybe like a Drew Dober type, like somebody with a name, but not quite ranked, somebody that can get him over the top in some way. So perhaps they go in that direction. But yeah, I think availability and durability and reliability, not saying that Mike's not reliable. He's just had some of the worst luck in the world. It's just got to be important that he continues to fight. So we'll see. He's like the Montel Jackson of the lightweight division. Like, we know the talent's there. He just doesn't fight.
Tristan just countered by saying, AK, we say that about Tatiana Suarez and she's fighting for the title. Yeah, that happened really quickly. Yeah, that didn't. Yeah. And we all knew that was going to happen.
It took a decade.
Yeah, good example. And we all had 100% confidence that was going to happen. And we all have 100% confidence that that's going to happen next week with no complications. Of course.
We're 7 days away, and we still are not 100% confident.
It's a terrible comparison. It's a terrible comparison. That's the last person you want to compare him to.
Saul calls you the GOAT, AK. How about that?
Thank you, Saul. Saul, you're the GOAT, and I love the image, the profile pic.
Sleeto, thank you. Did Dana speak on the veracity of Topuria Volk 2?
Mike, would you like to speak on the veracity of Topuria Volk 2?
Here is Okay, so yesterday was like the first day I was like fully back in the fold, but I obviously was like back home and was doing interviews and paying attention to what was going on in the news cycle. I saw the report that the main event for UFC Mexico was going to be Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Someone reported that. First of all, that is probably the most nonsensical Mexico main event out there right now. Not saying that like it wouldn't be a big fight, but why in the world would Volkanovski take that fight in Mexico, like without a belt? It makes absolutely no sense. So of course, like I didn't even bother like reaching out to everybody involved because I knew that there was no truth to that, but I did talk to a couple people about what was going on. Here's what I was told. The plan is, the one report you can kind of like, to say that this fight is done would be not wholly accurate. But the plan is Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski headlining the Miami pay-per-view in April. That is what the UFC wants. That is what is that's the target. I am told that that fight was not like fully offered just yet. Like that's just like, hey, this is what we're thinking. But the like offer in both sides are not like fully in at this moment. However, both teams, as you will find out, there are some members of the teams that are in Saudi right now. And I'm told that they were hoping to get more solid info and confirmation on whether or not that fight happens this weekend. If it doesn't, you're going to get both those dudes, Volk and Topuria, and their teams all in Sydney next weekend because Topuria's brother is making his debut against Volkanovski's teammate, and those two are cornering against one another. So if that fight's not happening, then why are we even making this fight, honestly? Like, Colby Thickness is a good fighter, but I think you did this for a reason, to build some story here, maybe get a little face-off, a little bit of something going on here. So, and I saw the report that Kai Kara France is going to challenge Pantoja for the flyweight title in the co-main event. I haven't been able to confirm that either. I don't think any of us have confirmed either side there. So I would say the UFC, if the UFC's plan comes to fruition, we will get Topuria Volk 2 in Miami. But to say that fight is done right now is not true. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I said a lot of words and didn't give you a ton of information, but Volk's side, the whole thing with Volk is like, he's been rumored for 8,000 fights. I mean, just go to certain Twitter accounts. Paddy Pimblett's been rumored to have 18 opponents in the last like 2 months. It's fucking ridiculous. So always remember the golden rule anyways. But at the same token, the plan for them, I will tell you this. The Volkanovski side never once has been offered Diego Lopez as a fight. Never once. That name has never come up to them. They have never said, hey, do you want to fight Diego Lopez? They have never once been offered Diego Lopez. Even though it's been reported 800 times, never once has that name been offered to Alexander Volkanovski. That I can tell you. Topuria has always been the plan. April's been the target. They're working on it. That's all I could say. There you go.
We got a super chat. We got another super chat.
William, honestly, do you think Izzy can handle the nasty elbows and knees Nassourdine Imavov brings to the table? And what's up with Izzy's latest tweet?
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. What did he tweet?
I think I know what he's talking about, but let me make sure before I comment.
The unknown into the abyss we go, but I will walk out alone.
I don't know. Are you talking about? I don't know. It might have been something else. Clarify. Who sent this? William, can you clarify in the comments when you get the chance? We'll talk about the first bit first. Can Izzy handle the nasty elbows and knees? Nassourdine. Listen. Like I said, so Mike, I don't know about you. I know. I didn't see the preview show. Did you pick? Who'd you pick for the main?
I picked Izzy. Izzy by decision.
Izzy by decision. Yes. I'm going Izzy by finish. I think he finds a finish. I just think we'll see some vintage Adesanya. But again, you cannot count out Imavov, and you cannot count out, like, for me, this slump he's in is a little familiar, like similar to, we had like Piotr Jan losing 3 straight fights. But again, you look at who he fought, you look at how, outside of the Imaov fight, like you look at how the other 2 fights went, and you're like, okay, it's a losing streak or it's a slump. But in Izzy's case, the First Pereira fight, he was up on all 3 judges' scorecards before losing the 5th round. The second Pereira fight knocks him out, knocks out the most feared man in the UFC right now, just clears him. The Sean Strickland fight, straight up just lost it. Just straight up lost it. I mean, that was just really not much you can take from that fight. He just straight up lost it. But other than that, the Duplessis fight, he was up on 1 judge's scorecard. So that was a really competitive fight. He was up on 1 judge's scorecard, and of course, obviously got submitted in the 4th. So like he's still competitive. He's still competitive. Losing to Duplessis, Strickland, and Pereira is nothing to be ashamed of. Like that's a tough 3 opponents to catch L's to, right? But there's no shame in it. I don't think that's indicative of him falling off. But I understand the concern. Imavov, I think, is 6 years younger than him. Very hungry. Really looks like he's trending in the right direction. Absolutely has the skills to go a hard 5 rounds with Izzy. So yes, it's a very good question. I don't know. That's actually a really good a good point to make of like how can Imavov win this fight? Yeah, if he can get in there and make it ugly and just get break out some really nasty, effective Muay Thai, like it's going to be competitive. It's a really good main event. It's one reason like we're so hyped for this card and why we say like this card is probably better than 312.
Yeah, I just don't think Imavov brings anything to the table that Izzy hasn't seen before. You know what I mean? So like I think he'll be okay. I do think that, and we talked about this in the preview show, that if a finish, I feel that if a finish comes in this fight, it's coming from Imavov and it's coming early. It's coming in the first half of this fight. Because I think if we get to the championship rounds, I think Izzy's just going to pull away here. So I think if Izzy wins one of the first 2 rounds, I think Imavov's in trouble. Like this could be a 49-46 territory, and it might not be the most thrilling fight of all time. So I don't know. But I think Izzy is just... We're going to learn a lot about Israel Adesanya and where he stands currently in this fight, because I think he should win. I think skill for skill, and then Jed brings up an interesting point too. I don't think Izzy's like washed, but he's definitely on the back 9. The guy's had 1 trillion fights. He's been doing this for a long time. He's had several hundred fights between kickboxing and MMA and all the other different combat sports he's done in competitions over the years. So he's got mileage on him. And we'll just kind of see if Imavov's the real deal. Casey has been on the Imavov train for a super long time, so maybe he'll be able to cash in that prediction, and we'll see how it plays out. But I do think the longer this fight goes, the more it favors Israel Adesanya, and we'll see how it all plays out. We'll take a couple more, and then we'll do our predictions, and we'll get the hell out of here. Justin Cash giving us some cash. Thank you. How does Saeed win today, gents?
Wow, aggressive. Not who will win. How does Saeed win?
You know what? I'll go first because I like to disappoint the masses. The answer, in my opinion, is he doesn't. He doesn't win. In fact, I have him getting finished in round 3 by Vinicius Oliveira.
Oh, I know. I also picked Loke Dog. I'm trying to remember, what did I say? I also picked finish. I think I said round 2 would be I think I said. Loke Dog. I did pick Loke Dog, right? Yeah, Loke Dog in round 2. Yeah. This to me, I don't want to boil it down and say it's necessarily just wrestler versus striker because Saeed can stand. Saeed has some striking, but I think clearly his best path to victory is to use his wrestling. He is a very good wrestler. So it is going to kind of come down to that. But I don't think Loke Dog is that easy to control on the ground. Maybe when he faces like maybe there's some truly elite wrestlers in the top 15 that can neutralize him like that. But there's going to be a lot of stuff happening on the feet, and I think Loke Dog's takedown defense is going to frustrate Saeed a bit. So it'll be competitive first, and then, like Mike said, maybe in the 3rd, I'm picking the 2nd. You're going to see eventually Oliveira's going to be able to open up, and he's just more dynamic on the feet. He's going to land something big. He's so fun to watch. So yeah, we're both picking Loke Dog. But to answer the question, yes, Saeed can totally mix the martial arts and win the fight that way. Just a timely takedowns. Just break Oliveira's rhythm. Don't let him get to start throwing exciting stuff, spinning stuff, flying stuff. And and win a 3-round decision. Maybe there's a submission in there, but I don't think Oliveira is particularly easy to submit. So if you were going Saeed, you're going Saeed, I think, by like a convincing decision. But yeah, another great matchup on this card.
Did you watch if you watch the second half of Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista, that's how he wins. He needs to just hold Loke Dog against the fence. That's his best way. He's not going to sit there and outstrike Loke Dog. It's just not going to happen. So, all right. The card is, I believe the broadcast has begun.
Let's
do
on the screen. Yes.
Let's do our predictions real quick. Bonuses, AK. Who do you think walks out of here with some bonuses tonight?
Oh, right. Bonuses. Okay. We will get a fight of the night from Fresium and Mike Davis. Boring pick. I know, guys. I know you're all like, oh, that was wrong. Fresium and Mike Davis. We're going to get a performance bonus from Terrence McKinney after he effing annihilates Damir Hadzovic. Sorry, Damir. I just think this is a Terrence showcase fight, as we get once every now and then after he loses a fight and they give him someone he can KO. Performance bonus for Terrence McKinney and a performance bonus for I should look at my picks, see what other finishes I picked here. A performance bonus for Izzy. Oh, I picked Izzy to get a finish. Izzy gets a finish in the main event, and there you go. So Izzy, fight of the night, Davis, Ziam, and another performance bonus for McKinney.
Fight of the night. I'm going with MVP and Chara Bullet.
Really? I think it could be ugly. I think it could be, but
I think it could be ugly, but fun. I think it's gonna be fun. So I'll go with that. Sergey Pavlovich for performance bonus. And I'm going Mike Davis for the other one. I'm going Mike Davis. Terrence McKinney is going to get probably a first round finish, but yeah, but I'll go Mike Davis because I think it's like a closely lined fight and it's going to be like a win that ages better. So yeah, we'll go with that. And now let's go with the main card picks, AK. Let's go to our friends at FanDuel for the latest odds. We kick off the main card. Mike Davis, the -144 favorite, taking on Fares Ziam, who comes back at +122. I've already kind of played my hand. Mike Davis, submission round 2 is my pick. What do you got?
I'll go Davis decision.
We go to the next fight. Said Nurmagomedov, the -164 favorite, takes on Vinicius Oliveira, comes back at +138. Both of us are picking Loke Dog. Both of us are picking Loke Dog by finish to pull off the upset. Then we go to the featured bout, Sergey Pavlovich, who fought for the interim heavyweight title not that long ago. -275, the comeback on Jairzinho Rosenstrike, +225. I'm picking Sergey for a bonus, so first round KO. I think they're going to club each other until someone falls on their face.
I'll go first round KO as well, but Jairzinho, I'm going with the underdog. I'm going the upset. I'm going the upset. I like Jairzinho in this one. I'm going him to pick up the first round knockout.
I love it. Co-main event, we have Chara Bullet, the -180 favorite. He takes on the longtime welterweight, at least for today, turned middleweight, Michael Venom Page, who comes back at +152. What do we got here, AK?
I like Chara by decision in a fight that I think is going to be a bit slow to develop. Again, both guys have pretty good technical skills, so I don't think that's why I'm not leaning towards this being a fight of the night. But I think Chara, I think the size will matter, just in terms of being able to probably just throw a little bit harder, have Michael Venom Page a little bit more on the back foot, and I think that'll make the difference in the end. So I really like this matchup, just as far as what it could mean for both guys' careers. So Chara by decision.
I'm going Chara by decision too. If I was betting on this fight, I'm betting on MVP. I would have bet on him yesterday because I think I would have got him at like +175 or something like that, or 160, and I think there's value there because I do think this is going to be close. I think this is going to be one of those fights where like Chara wins the first round and 3/4, and then MVP wins the rest of the fight and has all the momentum once the final horn sounds, and we're like, and we'll be saying on the post-fight show, if this is a 5-round fight, MVP would have won. That's how I'm kind of looking at this. So, but it'll be the fight of the night. At least I'm putting that out into existence. Let's go to the main event. Israel Adesanya, the -156 favorite. Money has come in on Nassourdine Imavov as of yesterday. He comes back at +132. I have Izzy by decision. You're saying by finish. How does the finish come? What is it going to look like? Paint us a word picture.
I think, again, we have Izzy kind of like slightly leading the dance through the first 2 rounds. So going up 10-9 on both cards, which is going to force Imavov to be like a little more like, and not to say Imavov is going to come out tentative. It's just going to be hard to figure out Izzy early on. I think Imavov absolutely from the beginning will want to be aggressive. I don't think he'll be intimidated by the moment at all. I mean, the biggest opponent he's faced by far. It's just easier said than done against a guy like Adesanya, right? Especially who, even though it might not be his best way of fighting, does like to counter sometimes. Like Izzy does like to let the fight come to him sometimes. So I think we'll see a bit of the countering Izzy in the first 2 rounds, just enough to like win and also frustrate Imavov. And then Imavov will have to like, again, come out and try to get a round back in round 3. That's when Izzy also gets more aggressive, and then Izzy turns it on and rocks him and just finishes him with, knocks him down, finishes him with ground and pound or whatever. But either way, gets a big highlight reel finish, and we get Izzy's back. Izzy Adesanya is back. That kind of talk. So yeah, I'm very intrigued.
Well, there you have it. There's our picks. If you guys are placing wagers or have your predictions or betting with your friends, I wish you all the best of luck, and hopefully you're doing so responsibly. You can do it through FanDuel. It's a great website to cash your bets. But that is it for us. Enjoy the early day MMA. You get breakfast, you get lunch. You'll be good to go. And then once the card ends, you can join the great Jose Youngs and I on the post-fight show as we react to all the craziness. And then AK and I will do some matchmaking tomorrow following this incredible event, which on paper looks better than UFC 312, which, tough thing to say, but it's kind of where we're at, especially coming off of a stacked and pretty fun UFC 311 event. So enjoy the fights, everybody. For AK, I am Mike Heck. Let's have a great day today, all right? So much combat sports, so much fun to be had, and we thank you all for joining us so early this morning. Goodbye, everybody.